in the morning, get there for 2 or 3 hours and get back that night. So whatever you guys need to do to get in the room with these amazing people, what Jeff, what Dwayne, what they're doing in St. George. We got people from Vegas coming up to St. George, all over the place. This week's going to be awesome. How about that for a promotion? So who's coming? Anyway.
Gosh,
all right, we got Jake. Jake's new to the community. Jake, what's up, man? Jake wants to invest. He just joined the team, and we're excited to have you, and he's headed down to St. George. Jake, you've done some investments, right? You've done a couple deals before, kind of more where you buy them, you renovate them, and then you turn around a couple years later and sell them, which is a great strategy. Jake, introduce yourself to the community and tell us a little bit about what you've done.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, I'm Jake. I'm new here. I just switched from Keller Williams, South Valley. But yeah, I bought a couple houses and I'll renovate them as we're living in it for some equity. And then our Florida house, we just moved back from Florida. We actually turned that into an Airbnb and ran that successfully for over a year. But then we wanted to come back to Utah. So we ended up selling and now we're here. So we're back. I'm excited to join this team. Lots of amazing agents on here. So yeah, looking forward to helping out as much as I can and learning from all of you.
Yeah, we're excited to have you, man. And that's why these events are so critical, because we have so many people joining from all over, not only Utah, but they're starting to come from Vegas, all over the country as we start to expand. So we're excited to learn from you as well. And we got Emma here. Emma just got a couple listings and already under contract. You locked up that deal with Paige. You were part of that listing presentation with Paige. You can talk about that. And then after we do that, I'd love to hear what Brady has in store for us, because he's got some big stuff.
Sorry. Okay, so you want me to talk about the listing presentation with Paige? Is that what you said?
Yeah, just give us a brief synopsis. What you guys did. You walked in there. You saw Paige in action. You beat out like 15 other agents that all presented. And you've already got offers on the property. You had a massive open house, got tons of leads. It was powerful. Like, that's what this community is all about.
Yep. So basically what happened, I got this lead from one of my family members. I didn't even know these people, but they had a whole bunch of family friends and family members that they were interviewing. They said, hey, we have so many people. The only fair way to do this is to interview everybody, and we'll choose. And, you know, that's the only fair way to do it. So I got an interview with him just because I did have a connection. I brought Paige in. I said, hey, we have like 14 other agents we're going up against on this thing. Like, I need you to bring it home, you know? And so she sure did. She went in, we walked around the house. And while we were walking around the house, she asked questions, not only about the home, but also about, you know, the family, just trying to kind of get to know them. Which was really awesome. And then we sat down and she did the full-on listing presentation on her laptop. She has a whole like slideshow, which is really cool. She shows her listing videos, and which I'm sure all of you know are incredible. So yeah, she goes all out. And I mean, at the end of the day, that's why I brought Paige in, is because I knew that, like, even though there were 14 agents, when there's her involved, it's a no-brainer. Like, she's the obvious winner. So anyways, we got it, and then we listed it not even a week ago. We listed it last Thursday, had an open house on Saturday, which was crazy. We had about 20 families come through, and it was insane. We had some people come back twice. We got an offer that night. We got another offer, actually 2 offers yesterday. And yeah, I think we're about to accept a cash offer for a 14-day close. So we're super excited.
Love it. So the thing I love about it most, you don't use leverage us or leverage Paige to go get the listing. That's great, right? That's the afterthought. But you actually utilize our tools and resources to understand and learn the process, so you can copy that process. See, that's what we're doing here. All of us have built massively successful real estate business as realtors, as investors, flippers, you name it. But guys, we're giving you the blueprint so you guys can literally come in and copy our process. We're giving it to you. We're not charging you 50 grand to get these processes. It's like, no. Plug into it, learn from us, go have success, and then help the next person along the way. And if everyone has that abundance mindset and that willingness to give, we are absolutely going to crush it as a community. That's why we're growing so fast. So to go find listings, bring them to Brady if you're in St. George, myself on Fix and Flips, or if it's Paige on listing presentations, you got somebody that's a first sell by owner and it's a really nice house, make a phone call and say, hey, I got the best team on the planet. I have to show you the listing video. Call up Paige and Paige say, hey, I've got an appointment set up for us. All you're doing is inviting us and we're going to close them. We're going to close every single thing that's out there, every deal, everything. We're going to close it all. So just have that mindset and you guys are going to absolutely crush it. So that's all I got today. I want to kick it back to Brady. Brady's got some really, really cool things that he's working on. And I can't wait to just everything that we're doing between Fix and Flips, all these rental properties that we got from across the country. It's just amazing. So plug in, buy in, and you guys are going to crush it.
Got to unmute myself to be able to talk here. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it. First of all, guys, want to say thanks for jumping on here this morning. There are 31 of us on this call this morning, which is phenomenal. Like, this is awesome. So in 3 months, we've got 31 people on our call. There's roughly another 5 or 7 people that didn't jump on quite yet, but we'll anticipate, hopefully they jump on in just a few minutes. A couple of different things that I want to just touch on and kind of reinforce with what Scott said is the power of a team. And I'll get into this a little bit as we go through some of this. We've taken some fairly large steps in Kansas City, Kansas, and I think you guys saw that on Red Suit as well as Sean Monson's Instagram as well as mine. If you guys were following us, we've got a couple of opportunities and they're fairly large. But being able to reach out to Scott when people are starting to do fix and flips, including ourselves, and being like, hey man, will you just review these numbers with us? Let's run through this, jump on the phone with the contractor. Let's make sure things are straight. And I literally had him on the call, sending the quote, and he just ran through it. And he's like, hey man, I got questions here, 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 and here. Because of his experience and his trained eye, he knows exactly where to look for. And he's asking the hard questions of, hey man, where are you making actually your income on this? How does this actually fit? Where's your contractor fee on this? Is it all built into your numbers? Is there any way we can lower these numbers? Is this actually necessary? So that's where having some of the experience of our team makes all the difference. And Scott can tell you firsthand, and when it comes to something that I'm not comfortable with, I basically go, hey, Scott, you're the fix and flip expert on our end of stuff for our fund. He does all of our value adds, whether that's apartments or single family homes or multifamily flips as well. Just turn it right over to him and go, man, run with it. That's kind of one of the big pieces that comes into this. When it comes to investor management and networking, that's where Sean kind of steps into play quite a bit. As we're talking about, marketing and selling our properties, Miss Page steps in and helps us work on that kind of stuff. And so we really do utilize our team internally to make our stuff even better. So just wanted to give that one more push there. If you guys have questions on that, reach out. And as you know, I tend to be the drier of the group. When I say that, I tend to be more investment oriented, generally working on deals that most people don't ever know or hear about until after the fact. And this would be one of those. So as we took some time, Scott, Sean and I, wow, now I'm mixing up names too. Took some time and we were actually flying out to Florida, but got changed over to Kansas City. And guys, this is where the opportunity to help people can really change your real estate career. As we went towards some of these houses, they're teardowns. There are walls that are falling in. There's flooring that's falling in. And yet, as we walked through these different neighborhoods, we had neighbors coming out and telling us, their family had been in the neighborhood for 3 or 4 generations. And these neighborhoods are starting to get ran down. They're not starting to, they are ran down. They've been abandoned. They're part of the reason that you guys are tested on the redlining in real estate school, because these areas were redlined back in the 60s and 70s. And so you're able to buy homes for considerably less. When I say considerably less, anywhere from $25,000 to $60,000 in various conditions. Now, the resale is also less. It's also, $140,000, $150,000. And so building a team and a network in these different areas is what we're doing with our team over on our side. So we've got contractors in place. We've got real estate agents in those areas that we're seeking to bring onto our team who are working with us. But then we also work with city officials to kind of pull some of these people together. And we end up working with neighborhoods and building the communities up with education from finance, education in real estate, education in entrepreneurship, and how to break those generational cycles over and over again. So some of this may apply to each of you. Some of it may not be applicable to any of you. I'm not sure where you guys are at in your journey. The reason I'm bringing this up is it shows that regardless of where you're at in your real estate journey or in your investment journey in particular, there's a place to start. As we start working through some of these projects, you guys will have more and more opportunities to invest with us should you choose to, or you guys can invest on your own. We're happy to kind of help work with you guys that way as well. So those are some options that we have been working on in the background. When I say they're massive, we have about 8,600 homes that we're working on with one group. The city of Kansas City is also looking at an additional 10,000 homes to be built. So those are opportunities that will be brought back to our group and going, guys, how do you guys want to be involved? How do you want to help? What do you want to do? And so then it comes the question of how do you decide what a good investment is? And I know Jake's done some investing. So I'm going to see if I can get him to unmute himself and talk about what he chooses and why he chooses investments. Jake, are you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm like an amateur investor compared to you, man. I've had like 3 homes. I did fix and flips or live-in flips, just because we lived there for 2 years, force equity, and then sell it without paying taxes on it. So I love that strategy. We're continuing to do that in our house. And then we're actually looking to buy another flip. So, or, some other option. So
let me ask you a couple of questions if I can.
Yeah.
So that method's called the BRRRR method. You guys will hear that phrase, right? Buy, renovate, refinance, repeat. That's the BRRRR method. You can actually put another R in there and rent, repeat. And that's what Jake's been doing. So why is it that you're choosing that method, Jake?
Well, we're not refinancing. We're just, we had our loan in Florida. It was 2.75. So we kept that, and then ran it for a year as an Airbnb and then just sold it. So, we're not really refinancing. We're just keeping it. Obviously this house we have now, we have like 6.25% rate. So once it drops further, we'll refinance, but, I don't know. I like it. It's for somebody that doesn't have, capital. The BRRRR method is a really good way to get into real estate. You can get a rental for a low cost since it's a primary residence. You can have a low down payment. And then, you can really build out your portfolio in a couple of years by doing the BRRRR, rinse and repeat the next property and keep it for a rental. Or if you live there long enough, you can sell it and not pay taxes on it. So there's a lot of options with real estate investing.
Yeah, it sounds like Ms. Tana's kind of done something very similar to that. Some of the benefits of that are you do get those primary home rates, right? You can use FHA and VA loans to do this. And then if you do increase equity and you want to retain it, you can either pull a line of credit or refinance it. So the other one that I was going to hit up was Daniel. I know Daniel's. Thanks, Jake. I appreciate you chiming in, man. That's awesome. And guys, this is where, as we find out what people have done, we love to have each other teach what's going on, right? We want to make sure that people have the resources that they need. And Miss Maylee's jumping in and telling us she's got some more resources she's willing to share with us as well. That way we can kind of help you guys become more successful. We minimize that risk as an investor. And Daniel, I know you've jumped heads and tails right into the fix and flip arena. What made you go that direction, and what are the pros and cons of that you found, man?
Okay, so I'll just start with the cons. Those are pending end of year because there's going to be some taxes, which I'm not a big fan of, but that's part of it. The fix and flip thing, it was just something that I was always interested in. A couple years ago when I met with Red Suit and just started to really get to know him and build that relationship, and got into a deal with him. Did great on it. Have since rehabbed a rental property out in California that I used to live in. Had a tenant in it for, I don't know, about 13 years. So rehabbed it, sold it, got into another property in Las Vegas, and through just this network and other real estate networks, have built some really good relationships. I have an amazing contractor out in Vegas that is a good friend of mine now, and his guys just come and handle it. They're actually going to likely go out to Southern California and rehab another rental that my family owns, probably beginning of the year, just because they'll be cheaper than any contractor in California, even with us paying room and board while they're there doing the work. The great thing that I found with the fix and flip method, it does get you some quick cash. You do have to put a lot of money in up front, but we use hard money lenders, so you're only like 10% down out of state, 20% for the lender that I have, and then your rehab costs. The nice thing is that as you do this and start building up capital, like this next property that we're going to be at in Vegas this week, we got that at such an incredible price that we're actually going to sell that and buy a chunk of retail space with it. We'll have a loan on that retail space, but we got enough money out of that deal that it's going to be just freaking awesome. So it gives you an opportunity to reinvest into long-term investments, which get you a check every month, right? Which is kind of the goal, make money while you're sleeping. So that's kind of the long and short of it.
Awesome. And then Miss Tana, you mentioned that you've done the BRRRR method as well. Would you mind jumping in and tell us kind of a little bit about your experience, please?
So what we did is we actually took advantage of our kids are old enough so we didn't have to pay 20% for a second home or anything like that. So we took advantage of first-time home buyer, put it under their name, we co-signed, and then we bought a home that was brand new. The basement wasn't finished, so we finished the basement, and then she rents out all the rooms except for she stays in the primary bedroom. And then and we only had to come up with 3% for that, so that was good. And then our son, we did the same thing with him, had him as the buyer, first time home buyer. It's what is that called? For some reason, up and down. Yeah. Anyway, so we're remodeling that. He's going to rent out the bottom half of the house and then live in the top. And then with our home, we're living in it, we're remodeling it, and we're going to finish the basement and use it as an Airbnb. And then we'll stay on the top floor, so whenever we rent out the Airbnb, we can leave. So we don't have people underneath us. So that's what we've been doing.
Sorry, my dog started barking. That is fantastic. I appreciate it. And guys, you can tell there's lots of different ways to invest. And so this call is a little bit different than perhaps maybe what you were expecting. One of the other things you guys can do is that you can actually buy up to 4 plexes with an FHA loan with 3% down. And the rents that you get from those other 4 units, actually, or other 3 units, will actually help go towards your loan to income and debt to income ratios and offset your payment. So what I loved about kind of what Tana was just talking about was helping her kids get into real estate in a very unique way. The one thing I loved about what Jake was doing it for him and his family to help them move up as well. And what I loved about Daniel's stuff is Daniel's like, look, I'm playing the short game and the long game, and as I'm doing so, I'm building this network and relationships to help me, but also the rest of the group get to the next level. And so that's where a lot of this stuff comes in, and we get to have the opportunity to learn from each other as we do different things. So Jake, yeah, it may be that, you're thinking you're small fry, new investor, don't know what I'm doing. Well, you've done it. So you're very more experienced than 99% of everybody else in the world. And you already know the ups and downs that come with that methodology, how it fits with you and your family, what the stresses and strains can be on a marriage for yourself and your family, as well as you guys are working through those different possibilities. Miss Tana adds another layer of complexity by adding her kids in. Now she's managing her kids and helping them manage rentals as well. And I've had the opportunity to work with and meet one of Tana's kids, and she's absolutely phenomenal. Takes after her mom, obviously. And Daniel, I've watched Daniel kind of start with number 1 with red suit, jump into number 2, meet some people down in Vegas. He took the leap to go, hey, I'm going to go, 500 miles away immediately. And so he's learned how to manage contractors from a distance and be able to check in, see them, which is probably why he's in the car again. Probably headed back south, right?
Tomorrow morning, I'll be headed south.
Yeah. And so that's kind of part of this really cool part of real estate, right? Is we're not, a lot of times we get stuck in, well, I'm only here in Southern Utah, I'm only in Utah Valley, or I'm only in Salt Lake. We don't have to be. We have the opportunity to buy places in Florida like Jake did. Now, granted, he was living there at that point in time, but it's like, hey, I want to make this an Airbnb. Hey, you know what? We can buy fix and flips in Florida. There's lots of them out there. Or Alabama, or, you know, any along the Texas Gulf Coast. Right now, Florida's got a lot of rehabs, guys. Just letting you know right up front, water damage is your friend when you're looking for rehabs. But and then we've got, you know, some excellent coaches apart from Red Suit. We've got Mitch and Maley and their program as well. They're helping people with their first flips to help them get started. We got Joey, who's learning about flipping as he's doing his demolition stuff, and we're getting to see that online. So apart from helping you guys not only produce for your clients and for your own livelihood through real estate, we're excited and ecstatic to help you guys produce on the real estate side or on the investor side as well, both short-term and long-term. So that's, I mean, I don't have a lot today. It's simply like, we're here to help you guys succeed. Jenny, go ahead, man.
Hey, Brady. So I got kids in the car. I just want to know, where do you guys recommend I start? Because I've been trying to piece together funding. I have rental properties. You know, my husband's a handyman. We've done quite a little bit of fix and flips there. Not, I should say flip. We didn't end up selling them, but fixing it up, renting it out. I just want to know, like, where do you recommend I start? Because I see so much value in you guys, and I don't want to. Just want to know, where should I be guided if I want to do my first flip and setting up that financing?
Fantastic question. Anybody that, you know, myself, Daniel, Maley, and Red Suit, and anybody else that's kind of been talking today, I'm sure would be willing to help. That's the beauty of what we're trying to do, is we want the community to help each other. Maley's going to have different contacts than I am. Red Suit's going to have different contacts than I am. Daniel and Tanner are going to have different contacts than I am. And that comfortability of, and I say comfortability in a, I know it's an odd word, being comfortable with, hey, this is out of the ordinary, or it's not what I'm used to looking at. You may even find it within the group. Hey guys, I'm looking for a 12 a loan at 2 and 12, so 2% up front, 12% interest for 3 to 6 months while I do this renovation, and we share that within the group, and we're able to go, hey, you know what? Now we're actually funding each other's deals as we've got money and capital sitting, and now you have somebody else has a vested interest within the group to help you get through those areas. Would be my first suggestion.
Yeah. Hey, Brady, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, so the other thing, here's the easiest way to do it. Figure out when somebody's going to a project and then just shadow them. Like, we're all open. Hey, come check out all my flips. Like, we actually flip homes. So like anytime, hey, Red Suit, when's the next time you're going to your flip? I'll come out there right now and meet my countertop, my painter, my contractor, everything. Literally in 20 to 30 minutes, you can get hundreds of hours of research you'd have to do on your own, right? So if we simplify it, like, we're telling you to take the leadership in the initiative of reaching out to people saying, hey, I know you're flipping some homes. When's the next time you're going there? Can I meet you there? Where's the address? Can I give you some support some way, some form, some fashion? That's the easiest way to do it. And then all of a sudden, you get to meet all these contacts. You get to learn so much through action, not just by like reading about it on Google. It's very different when you're actually there than when you're actually just reading about it.
And
Love it.
Jenny,
I'm going to start bugging you then.
go ahead, Michelle.
I was just going to let Jenny know. So we're actually doing a first flip challenge. So we're showing people how to pick up their first flip and fix it and flip it. So this Thursday night, if you're interested, you can come down and see what we do. So Maylee, she's here on our team here with us as well. And we all collaborated together. And if that's something where you want to start, just come see what we actually do. And
Michelle, that's not the one down in St. George, is it?
no, it's actually here. It's going to be this Thursday night. It's in South Salt Lake, I think, or no, South Jordan, but I can DM you and send you an invite if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, will you do that? I'll try to reach out to you too.
Okay, sounds good. to some.
And Scott, I'm just gonna start bugging you more.
No, you're
No,
good.
you're
Miss
good.
Jenny. Some other places that you might find capital is some of your rentals that you already have. We are able to, like, I currently am pulling equity out of one of the houses that I hold, and that's how I'm moving forward with some other.
Yeah, see, but Brady, when I've talked about like financing, I've been told I can't touch that money with like a HELOC. It's got to be my private home. It has to be a second mortgage, right?
No, not necessarily. There's lots of groups that will work with, and one of the key factors to this is sometimes it's finding the right bank with the right appetite if you want to use a HELOC. And then there's also the opportunity to work with hard money guys. They'll just take and put a second on it. Always the cheapest. So banks are the cheapest. They take the longest. They have the most paperwork. Hard money guys, and I call it almost like shark money, is the fastest. Like you can get it in less than 3 hours or 24 hours, but it costs the most money. So when you're looking for money, the faster you need your cash, the more it's going to cost you. So
For sure.
if you,
I got that.
yeah, if you can plan ahead, HELOCs are by far the cheapest way to do it. There are investment HELOCs. You can also roll your properties into a portfolio loan and pull some equity that way if you choose to. It just depends on how you're operating, and we can go through different numbers and scenarios with you to help understand what's the best benefit for you as well. Michelle, you had something else, ma'am?
Oh, I was just going to tell her. So I have a lender that's actually working with me. So with HELOCs, the banks only go out so many years. This is called like an all-in-one that it's ongoing. There's different ones that you can actually get HELOCs on some of your rental properties. There's banks that will even lend to you on your rentals. For example, on one of a flip that I'm going to do, was telling me that they would do 100% financing, and that would even cover my rehab. So that would cover the purchase plus some of the rehab.
On what interest rate?
It just depends on like your score or whatever it has. You'd have to work with whatever your numbers are and find out where you're at. But for me, that's what I would be able to do. Because then it's all
collaborating more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and here's a suggestion for everyone, guys. Everyone has their guy, right? But guess what? I've had a guy 5 years ago. He's no longer my guy or my girl, right? You have to be open and willing to learn new things from different people. Otherwise, you're going to get the same results over and over again. And so having such a community of everyone having different people, it's your job to go out and do your research and get in front of these people and collect the information so you can make the best decision for you. I might borrow money from one hard money lender on one deal and somebody completely different. I might pull a HELOC. The reason, Jenny, people are telling you can't do it, probably somebody that gave you that advice has never done it themselves. And so they're giving you that advice because of the unknown. So that's why this community is, we can bounce ideas back in when we have the app rolling in here soon. We can say, hey, I saw this. Is this a good idea? And then all of a sudden we get 20, 30 different ideas, different ways that you can do it. That's the beautiful part about this. Then you can collect the information, make the best decision.
Yeah, I think I should reach out to you guys, have some specific conversations with some members with my rentals and see what my options are. Like I said, delve in more with more people.
Yeah, I mean, as you can tell, there's lots of people here who are willing to help and guide you on that process. So, guys, this is kind of, I wanted to show the power of a team today, and this is why I kind of changed the dynamic of, rather than a 30-minute lecture on how to invest and what we're doing and how cool we are, I went, hey guys, look, I want to see how we can help each of you realize your own potentials and realize that it is a possibility to start investing with essentially a real estate commission. We get paid 3%. You can buy houses with your real estate commission. Especially if you're willing to live in them, you can do FHA financing. The house that I currently live in, I bought a $340,000 or $77,000 house 4 years ago with $6,000. That's all it cost me out of my pocket. So there's ways to make all of this happen, all ways to make all of this work. We're excited to help you guys succeed. And realistically, we are a resource. I know Scott just alluded to an app that is coming so that we can have more and more community conversations about, hey guys, where can I find some lenders? Hey, we've got a deal here. Does anybody want to jump in and partner? One of the things that I would also encourage is you're evaluating each other and talking back and forth is see if somebody's willing to do a walkthrough with you, whether that's somebody like Red Suit or Maylee or Tana or Michelle, and go, hey, I'm new to the flipping thing. I'm a little nervous about it. Is somebody willing to step in and help? Somebody guide me through the process. You'll find that you'll make a lot less mistakes by giving them 20, 30% of your deal versus having to pay that tuition out of pocket. Scott, you're talking, but we can't hear you, brother. Red suit. Can't hear you. You're on mute. He's having a good conversation with himself. There's Jesse. Meet Jesse. Jesse's awesome. He's the contractor on Scott's flip. We still can't hear Scott. This is great. Yep. Okay. Yep. This is like Chinese. This is. You're on mute, brother.
You need to record this and post it on YouTube that this is happening.
Oh, it's recorded. We're good. We're gonna make sure that one gets up there on his Instagram. We're just gonna do like bad lip reading.
Yeah.
Have to make a song to it. Daniel, you're gonna have to help me put that one together.
Cantonese,
Let's
fella.
make it happen.
We can do 4 or 5 spins of that one, guys. We'll have some fun with it. But guys, I am posting these up. I'll post the links to I'm posting these on our YouTube page right now, and they're just unlisted. So I will send you guys links in our group chat, and then as we transition over to the app, you guys will get more and more opportunities to review these and be able to utilize them over and over again. If you need the sections of them, let us know. If there's somebody we need to get you guys connected to, the group me is a great way to do that. And so again, this is kind of the power of the team. Like we talked about investments, this also works. And Miss Lily, I appreciate your question. I will have Miss Page reach out to you so that we can cover that with you in a different form so that she can go through that and answer all your questions. Let me write that down.
Question, what's the YouTube page?
So it is New Wave Real Estate
Okay.
2024. And so I'll drop a link to it so you guys have got it.
Okay.
And then we're just kind of uploading these as we get them done. They're unlisted, but that way you guys have a copy of all of these and you guys can jump through and look at them again.
Okay.
I have added transcripts to them as well so that it is transcribing them as we're talking. So trying to help in every way possible. That way you guys can pull sections, reference back and forth. If something comes up, we can ask questions on, hey, I was confused at this part. How do we clear that up? Those type of things.
Okay. Thank you.
So, yep, you're sure welcome. And Miss Lily, like I said, I'll have Miss Page reach out to you and talk to you about different fees and how the structure fits. Truly appreciate you guys today. We're going to just go ahead and end unless anybody has any additional questions. All right. Thank you guys so very much. Thanks for so much for your guys' time today. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Brady. Thanks, guys.
Talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Have a good day.
You too.